Alrighty. Welcome back to Nick Lenz Comic Corner, Classic Lesson Non Classics. This is episode number 2862 and Doubleshot 2756. Now we got two DC series for comics to discuss here. One is the start of a series, the other is finishing it up. First discussing Power of the Atom, technically the second ever ongoing for the Atom because he had a limited series in the 80s, but third ever one he had. Though it says in the cover, he's back and more powerful than ever in his first monthly adventure. Well, technically this would be his third series basically he's had. So, Power of the Atom, written by Roger Stern. We're here discussing the first 5 issues in issues 7 through 10. The reason why I'm skipping 6, because this discusses already in an actual trade, known as DC Universe by John Byrne. Yep. So the book starts out with basically Ray Palmer arriving out of a freaking dial phone. And he tries to go back to his normal size, but he's 3 feet tall. He does explain what the heck is going on here. So basically the group of the 6-inch people that he was hanging out with, yeah, they're all dead. They got killed by Brazilian engineers. Which there's a hint the fact later on that it may have been done by an agent of the CIA, basically, who's responsible for that. So, he's also stuck at 3 feet tall. He's like this for a few issues. He does briefly reunite with his ex-wife, Jean Loring. And the thing is, people don't know the fact they're separated. So, people think this guy that Jean's hanging with, think, oh, you're stealing Ray Palmer's wife. And it's like, no. No, he's not. And so we have sort of a supporting cast in this book, a woman named Ricky, who's also got a thing for him too. I believe she makes her debut in this opening issue. Mm-hmm. Now, Power of the Atom, unlike, let's say, the original Atom series, which was 37 issues, this is like only 18 issues, which is quite surprising it's that long. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, in case you're going to ask, this book comic came out in 1988. Excuse me. Yes. Oh, and Jean is mentioned here in the first issue, but she doesn't exactly... There's also a guy named Agent Bradley. Now, Jean Loring, she was married at one point to a guy named Paul Huberin. Yeah, basically, he was introduced in the Sword of the Atom book. Yeah, and he is in case you're wondering, does Jean's new husband, does he appear in Power of the Atom? He does. He comes in issue 3, and he's here as a recurring character for most of the series, but not the entirety of it, per se. No, not really. Yeah, we're also introduced to Agent Bailey. Yeah, he's kind of basically, well, the book's drawn by Dwayne Turner. The whole thing with him, he really wants to recruit Ray Palmer to the CIA, but it doesn't really work very well. Oh yeah, also Rhea, who's also as Ricky in the book. She basically becomes a regular character in the book. At one point, it seems like she and Ray are dating. Yeah, and she's here from issue 2 up until like mostly the final issue. She's not here just for issue 1, 5, 6, 7, and 12 to 15. So she's here for most of the series, but not the entirety of it. Nope. Basically, it's like Roger Stern really wanted to have a romance between for Ray because he's not with Jean Loring anymore. By issue 3, he is restored to his proper height thanks to more experimentation. Yeah. So in issue 3, he basically gets offered to stay. He turns him down, and then he runs into Hawkman, Hawk Woman, who is wearing their outfits from Hawkman Volume 2. Where it's kind of weird because at the time this came out, Hawk World probably came out, and he sees, oh, two feathers, rips off something, and it turns out it's actually from Hawkman's helmet, and anytime he shows up in this book, it's considered the Earth 1 Hawkman. Yeah, before the reboot from... Yeah, basically, he turns down, basically...
Hello, nice.
He turns down, basically, from the CIA, and, of course, are upset by it. And then, of course, by issue number 5, he runs into the Elongated Man for a team up, and then, of course, basically, we see the return of Kronos. Yeah, and also we get guest appearances in this book by the Justice League International. Well, Max Lord Oberon. Yep. By issue 7, we get more expansion on this, where he shows up at the headquarters, thanks to Oberon ringing him up. Issue 7 basically deals with an invasion by, of course, the alien peoples from Invasion. And then issue 8. 8 is basically still part of. At one point, it looked like Hawkman dies, but not really. It's Ben Nagarian Hawkman. So, by the way, also, I had just noticed this too, that issue 6, Graham Nolan does the artwork for the book, and the artwork was really good in the book. I love the artwork by Graham Nolan. Yeah, by issue 9, basically, is where, like, here's the thing. He shows up at the Justice League Embassy in this one, and he meets Oberon. He doesn't know who he is, but he sees, oh, this is the Justice League National. Like, wait, this is the Justice League. I recognize Batman, I mentioned Martian Manhunter. I don't know who these people are, but they're not Justice League, not what he was familiar with. And then, of course, he sees Guy Gardner. Why the heck is he here? And he runs to Batman. By the way, he develops a new ability in this book where he can actually maintain the costume when he's at regular size. No longer he has to shrink down and put in the costume. No, he can basically maintain him in normal size, no problem. Yeah. Also, I show up his brand new costume that she has. Yeah, that's his brand new costume he has in this book. Basically, the classic costume that was designed for him back in the 60s, that's gone. Yeah, basically, they got rid of just not long before this. So, yeah, and also he trips up Guy Gardner as sort of a nod to what happened in the Justice League International book, where Batman punched him. Punched Guy Gardner. It's an absolute fun issue. It's a shame, basically, they didn't have this book basically co-written by, like they could have basically had it where it crossed over. And of course, then we have issue 10. We have this first-person character named Humbug. He's a weird, bizarre character. The first-person issue, and that's pretty much what to talk about here. I gotta admit, most of these issues, pretty much what I were in issue 6, basically, for these first 10 issues, it is really, really good. I give this book a 10 out of 10. It's pretty amazing. Nothing wrong with this. It's a shame, basically, there's no trade this one. Next up we have is Teen Titans. Now, I initially thought the Marvel one did the whole series. I was wrong. Yes. By issue 12, he was gone. Yeah, they dropped from the book by issue 12. So it's like, we have more adventures. We deal with the character Deathwing, who's in a lot of this book. The whole thing with him is that he's a future Dick Grayson. And basically he wears an old Dick Grayson costume, particularly the original one. And the whole thing is he really wants to be with Mirage. He's here until she's like 18. Oh, in case you're curious, like, yeah. And we deal with the Time Foes. Yes, which are made up of, get this, Calendar Man, Kronos, Clock King, Time Commander, and Vandal Savage. Yes. They are recurring villains in this book, and they're here from issues 13, 15, and issue 19. They fight them, have a little fun. We also see Dawn and her husband basically having sex because they're husband and wife. We do stuff with Knight Raider. Yeah, basically Dawn Troy is like a supporting character's book. And eventually, like... yes. By issue 18, we're basically building toward the very end of the book, where a lot of it is basically tearing our own in a lot of these issues, a lot of these main issues. The writers of this book is Jeff Jensen and Phil Jimenez. I love Phil Jimenez's artwork, but he does a pretty good, decent job. And yeah, we deal with basically like the story is called "You Can't Go Home Again." It's basically the whole thing of like, oh, too many Titans. You also have a group called the Judge and Jury, which are characters who are recurring villains. Another group of recurring villains for this book. Yeah, they may return for a couple issues, and they also appeared in the end of the book, which we'll discuss it later. Yeah, and also the character of Lazarum, he gets killed. He gets killed off, but he's still kind of around. Yeah, come back together, deal with the threat here. Brian Hitch joins the book as the artist. We slowly wrap up the series, sadly. It is still a pretty interesting book, I do gotta admit that. Aqualite appears in book 2. Chimera, I think it was New Blood character. Yeah, a character from the whole thing of the Bloodlines crossover. And they had this character return for a couple issues of Team Titans for basically the last couple issues of the book to basically just wrap the book up. And the book continued pages of 0 Hour. But before I finish up with the book itself, let's talk about basically the second ever annual for the series. It's Elseworlds annual, but it feels like it's in continuity. But it's from the future. It's actually probably the only annual of these Elseworlds ones that feels like it's canon. Yes. Or it's like a story from that future. That's what it feels like. And I thought the book was actually really good. All work by Luke Ross, Michael Dulswich, and I.J. Kent. So, we have reached the end of Team Titans. My final thoughts on the book. I thought it was a pretty interesting book. Nothing really wrong here. Shame, basically, this book doesn't have more trades. The first 3 issues are in trade, thanks to the chaos, but the rest of the book, no, it isn't. Don't know the reason for it. I initially thought this was 23 issues, and I initially thought Mark Wolfman did the whole thing. Nope, he did the first half, he left. So, with this book completed review-wise, next book to review will be Vigilante Volume 1. Yeah, I'm going to do a thing where I do Vigilante, like one volume for this one, do another book, in between. Yeah, I really want to do Vigilante Volume 1 because that's a very interesting character, and plus I've already discussed his debut in New Teen Titans, the back to pilot, which was the second annual for New Teen Titans, and now I got to talk about the actual series itself, which is going to be very interesting. Yep. Yeah, it's interesting though for the annuals themselves. They're just basically part of whatever crossover going at the time. Yes. And the second annual basically part of the whole Elseworld stuff. It has Elseworld's logo on it, but it doesn't feel like an Elseworld story at all. Not really. Yeah, and by the annual, basically, like a lot of these characters are pretty much done. Yep. As for the Teen Titans themselves, what happened to the group after this? They disbanded. Thanks to 0 Hour, they pretty much were disbanded. And the only people who stuck around after this group disbanded were just who were still alive, because everyone pretty much died. Mirage. She still stuck around for quite a while. She was around up until the Flashpoint reboot. Avil. He got killed in the Kilowog one shot. Aurora. Also done Kilowog as well. Battalion. He stuck around. He was erased from time, but he didn't technically die. He just disappeared. It's like with Zero, he basically was written out of the timeline. But somehow Terra 2 stuck around Mirage, which I find that to be interesting. Prester John. Yeah, some people were killed, and some basically were just written out of existence. Silver Shield. Yeah, the Kilowog one-shot basically Kilowatt. They kill off a lot of characters in that very issue. Yeah. Orville, Aurora, and Silver Shield, they all died in the same issue. Drum. He didn't do very much. Yeah. But Terra 2, like, she ended up joining the main Titans book afterwards. Yes, as a member. At one point running into her brother. Yeah, so, like I said, well, in the case of Mirage, she got back over to New Teen Titans, where she was there for pretty much the rest of the book. She later returned for Teen Titans Volume 3 for some issues, even toward the very end, per couple issues of Titans. Her appearance was very sporadic after basically Teen Titans wrapped up. But yeah, not much to say about this book. Really good. I'm going to give Teen Titans, issues 13 24 on the annual, a 8 out of 10. Okay, so that's pretty much a particular view. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe to notifications, and do another like button. I'm going to go, and then I'm going to come right back to do the next couple comic corners that are ready to go, which is basically going to be, well, excuse me. Well, there's also going to be another book wrap up today, which I did finish reading. I got to do another book too to wrap that one as well, but I got more books to wrap up today. Kind of. Okay? Thanks to you. Bye.